tracks. Bravely we proven our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good barely morning. Good barely morning. 6 minutes till afternoon. Yep. 6 minutes till the afternoon. Mountain Standard Time. Morning, Michelle. Good old Sunday. Sunday. Monster Truck Day, Sunday. Well, fuck, huh? Oh. Why is my phone blowing up? Why my phone blowing up? What's going on here? It was a Zoom room at 3 today. Do you have the link? I do have the link to the meeting. It's a 3 p.m. meeting. A newcomers meeting. It ain't going to be around much longer. It used to be a pretty big meeting. We'd have 60, 70 people there. Now we can't even get people to chair. So, I mean, it's just the same thing that, you know. What kind of sucks is we had these Zoom meetings. They were going strong and stuff. And then we could start going to in-person meetings. And everybody just abandoned the Zoom meetings. Just abandoned them. Oh, well, I'm going to go do what it is that I want, you know. Did we ever stop to think that maybe God gave you a direction, that God gave you some accountability, some things, and, you know, if you turn around and take a shit on it, there's consequences to that. Just saying. Morning, Julia. Yeah, it's tough because it used to be a really, really big meeting and a good meeting, man. But, you know, everybody went back to their in-person because they're better than us. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, but some of them do think that way. There's some people that are just so against it. I'm so against it. It's just, you know, and I'm going to find everything I can wrong about it. And maybe you need to go do a 4-step or something. Maybe you need to go talk to your higher power. You were probably the same person that, you know, voted for the plain English big book. You know, I didn't want that out, but it still came out. I think it's bullshit. I think if you're so lazy that you can't look up a word in the dictionary, good luck on your 4-step. Good luck. You can't learn more. Or you're going to go to a meeting and we're going to say something and joke about it. But since you read the plain English big book, you ain't going to get it. You're not going to understand it. Big book's written in plain English. All right. I think it is. Of course, I'm an old, you know, closed-minded, stupid old man. So what do I know? Oh, all right. Welcome to Daily Trudge. Big news, Coldplay and Kiss Cam busts everybody. I'm so tired of hearing about that already. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. All I know is that was a very cold play. Anyway, if you're here, please say hello. That was a funny dad joke, by the way. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Now watch, somebody's going to turn around and sue Coldplay for something or something, right? It's the way this world works, man. Nobody's allowed to have anything nice. Hold on a second. What's going on over here? Oh, okay. I think I'm easily distracted today, so I'll close the door. It's my wife's trying to get something done. Get her done. She's getting something done. All right. So Black Sheep. You the black sheep of the family? You most likely are. If you're listening to this, you are most likely the black sheep of the family, the scapegoat. There's a part of my family that still tries to use me as their black sheep. And what they did is they just cut off communication. They did the, my kids tried to cut me off. A lot of people tried to cut me off. What they don't understand is I'm a persistent fuck. And when I want somebody in my life, I'll make sure you're in my life. My mom and I, we had to work through a lot of stuff together. I had to work through a lot of stuff with my kids. I don't believe in cancel culture. In fact, I'm tired of everybody running around blaming, oh, my parents were narcissists. And, all these coaches talking about narcissism when I see narcissism in the video. Let's stick with narcissistic traits. You're not a doctor and you don't get to do that. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit too. The judging of other people. Were my parents the best? My dad used to kick the shit out of us. Okay? Me. He didn't kick the shit out of us. Out of his kids, he didn't touch. Me and my older brother, oh yeah. Yes, he wasn't emotionally tied to us through fatherhood and stuff. How easy it was just to take his anger out on me when he got home from his frustrating day. Well, so my brother towed the line. I did whatever the hell I wanted to. So, and I used to sit here and say, every spanking or every beating I got, I deserved. No, I didn't. No kid deserves to be beaten incessantly or wondering if they're going to have a hand raised to them when their father gets home. That happened until I was about 14, 15, and I pushed him back and I knocked him on his ass, and he never touched me again. Right? And I tried to. See, that's the thing about the black sheep. We try to settle things in the family. Some pretty bad things have been done to people. Yes, it has. But is it up to us to move forward? Right? What I was doing is I was wallowing in my victimhood. And I had to get out of that. And black sheep realize that. We see things in this world that other people do not see. We usually see the truth. And the hard part is, then nobody wants to believe you. Telling the truth, okay? See, there's a double-edged sword here. There's the rigorous honesty that I have in me and that I know to be true. And then I say it out loud and people just don't want to believe it. See, there's two truths going on here. These are the two truths. It's the outside truth and the inner truth. Trust your intuition. It's correct. Don't allow anybody to determine your worth, including you, or you will fall short in that. Let God determine your worth. That is his purpose. Okay? Now, what are we going for here? Why would we need worth? Does allowing other people to determine our worth, allowing us to do it, determine our worth, what does that do? It lowers your self-esteem. It will. And then you'll start scrambling because all of us alcoholics, even though we like to drink alone, we still want the attention. We love the drama. Oh yeah, we love the drama. Black sheeper. Yeah. I love drama. Just admit it. It's okay. I love drama too. Every single TV show I watch is drama. Almost every single one. I watch some funny stuff too. All right. But once you can get past that, now as the black sheep, here's some concerns when it comes to being the black sheep. Because some of us are more sheepish than others. Codependency issues. That's the number one thing. Even though we're telling the truth, we're doing these things. We do the hard things. We know that, we've got to watch that line of codependency. Doesn't mean we're always right. We've got to remain open-minded. Okay. But here's the big thing about black sheep that start to heal that I notice. They start to put their foot out knowing it's going to be stepped on and they allow it. Watch that. I understand it. I get it. Sometimes we are the beginning of the fight, but we are also we do it because that we have a solution and we want to get to the solution. But not everybody is going to want to hear the solution. Why do you think that number is 3? There are 3 people here. I've been doing this 7.5 years. That is proof in and of itself that the truth has a hard time in this world. Why don't we just give the truth this fucking day? All right. Term black sheep typically refers to someone who deviates from the norm or stands out within a group. This can even happen in an AA group. This can happen in different types of groups. I watch it all the time. Often in a negative way, and is not a literal creature of superpowers. Shut up. That's not what we're going for, dude. See, even now, they won't even give it to you. Screw you, AI. However, in some fictional contests, the black sheep character might possess unique abilities. All right. For example, one fictional setting, a character called Black Sheep is depicted as a powerful witch with magic abilities. In another character called Black Sheep grant limited powers. Shut up, okay. Literal with possible fictional powers. This is not what we're going for. All right. What is the power of the black sheep? I'm going to tell you what the power of the black sheep is. Truth. It's the truth. See, we've had to eat a lot of crow in our life, right? What does it say it is here? Black sheep is often described as someone who deviates from the norm, blah, blah. Embracing one's identity as a black sheep can be powerful, as it signifies the courage to be authentic and true to oneself. Black sheep usually end up being who they want to fucking be. We're rebels. Rebel, rebel. Dum, dum, dum. We're rebels. We're the people where rules are meant to be broken because those rules don't quite fit. We're the belligerent ones. Are these things bad? Well, we used them incorrectly for a long time, didn't we? Sure we did. All right. Black sheep are usually the ones that break generational cycles. They refuse. They refuse. I have not once lifted a hand to my children. I broke that cycle then and there. It ended with me. What else ended with me? Hate, blame, shame, guilt, gaslighting, shit like that. Yeah. Well, my parents still runs their life that way. He's great to the other kids, but it's because they all do what he says. I don't. All right. And sure, some crappy things were done to me. You know, like he adopted my older brother. He did not adopt me. He gave up his rights to the courts for me. Some of the things he used to say to me, he made it very clear he did not want me in his life. Then he went to some anger management and he got a little better. But I know something about anger management. It's not you go to especially when it's lifelong anger and you've lived in a dysfunctional family and you are codependent yourself. He's a severe codependent with narcissistic issues. I don't know if he's narcissistic or not, because guess what? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. All right. But am I going to take the rest of my life and point my finger at that man or at my children or at my parents for who I am? Or am I going to be better? Those are the options. See, we chose to be better. We have to do things. A lot of people out there, and we black sheep are the sacrificers. We sacrifice for the good of other things. We'll give up our time. We'll give up our money. We'll give up a lot of things. That's why I say you got to watch that codependency. Don't give away something you need. Okay. We're the people that will put out our foot knowing it's going to be stepped on so that we can all enjoy peace and harmony. I know you do it. I know you do. That's what healed alcohol. That's what healed black sheep do. Okay? Your life was hard. Probably had a hard time in school. Maybe you didn't have many friends, or maybe you had a bunch of friends. Okay? But you certainly didn't bring them home. No. My house was kind of the opposite. All the kids were my house, which is weird because I had no friends, but they wanted to use my house. After a while, I kicked them all out. They're like, "But your mom said that we could come here," and I said, "Yeah, my mom's a drunk. Get out." That's all it was. Get the fuck out of my house. But your older brother, my older brother, doesn't do anything around here. I'm the one that takes care of everything, and you're tearing the place up. Get the fuck out. I wonder why I didn't have any friends. I didn't like it. What are the characteristics of a black sheep? Black sheep have defective relationships with both parents. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. It sucks. It's hard to sometimes read this stuff and be reminded of, sure, I'm doing well today, but, all right. Were common characteristics were common to black sheep, such as inferiority feelings, sensitive. I certainly, so far, they got me. Risk taking or adventurous, risk taking in this case, drinking and drugging and having sex at a young age. Aggressive when somebody insults him or her. Insecure and feels happy when people express their love or care for him. Okay. That is not all the characteristics. These are just the bad characteristics. All right. So let's do this because this isn't meant to be a bad thing. What are the good characteristics of a healed black sheep? Doesn't it know what I'm looking for? Here are some of the good characteristics. This is what I was trying to get to. Courageous and resilient. Oh, we take a fucking pounding. But you ever seen that video? It's Rocky. He's getting ready to fight. He's older. And he has that talk with his son. And he says, "It's not how hard you can hit. It's how many times you can be hit and still stand up." Black sheep are some of the most resilient people I know. Neurodivergent people, autism, very, very resilient people. They, to some people, this life is a threat. Okay? So resilience. We are very courageous. When you're the only person in the room this happens to me a lot in this recovery field of putting in, and it's working with the professionals. They're the ones making the wrong choices because they have no clue as to what they're doing. And I'm the one that stands up and says, "You don't know what you're talking about. This is off. We cannot go this route. If we go this route, you decide to go this route, I will no longer support you. I will picket you. I will put you out of business. So let's please do this the right way." That's the black sheep. Yeah. And I already know that I've just pissed off 90% of the people in the room, but I don't care. I want the right thing. I don't necessarily even want what Dion wants because what Dion wants isn't always the right thing. I want the right thing. I want what's right for everybody. I want equity. I want you to have what I have. I want it to be free. I want it to be open. That is recovery. We are cycle breakers. Go break them fucking cycles, my friends. Break them in half. Take them over here and eat. Fuck you. Bam. Fuck anger. Fuck blame. Fuck shame. Support your darn kids, man. Make your kids resilient. Go push them in the fucking mud. Go push them around. I do with my grandkids. I'm constantly pushing them around. I'm toughing them up, man. Not like, you know, I come from an age where the way you learned how to swim was by being tossed in the lake. That's how you learned how to swim for my age. See, when I tell my grandkids this stuff, they're like, what? And then my mom went out of her way to give us swimming lessons. I already knew how to swim. Thank you, John Wayne. Cycle breakers, they are often the ones who break free from dysfunctional family patterns, refusing to pass down trauma or unhealthy tradition to future generations. There was one rule, even while I was drinking, I had this rule with my kids. Like maybe my mom and I weren't getting along at the time. And I would tell my kids, hey, my mom and I are not getting along right now. This does not affect your relationship with her. I do not care if you're still talking to her. I don't care if you're hanging out with her. That is your relationship. And I've never once, ever interfered with it. No. I do not talk to the kids about some of the things that my mother did because she's human and I don't want them to see her in that light. Why? Because she fucking changed and she deserves that respect. She went and changed. And it wasn't easy for her. I'm proud of her for that shit. And they should know that. All right. So what happened? Well, then it got passed down, right? And it came to me. I did some things. And, do you want to know something? None of my kids drink. None of them drink. Nobody in my household drinks. Alcohol is never in the house. There's no point. It just isn't here. All right. Authentic and independent. That's the thing. And that's why alcoholism is so fucked up for the black sheep. And not every alcoholic is black sheep. But I tell you, the people listening to me were. I know it because birds of a feather, man. You attract what you are. Right? I've always, and people tell me every night, oh, I appreciate your authenticity. And I appreciate them recognizing that. Don't you dare say something like, oh, I appreciate your passion. That's you calling me crazy. That's a different word for crazy. Okay. I know better. I know when somebody's trying to kill me with kindness because they don't like me. I know when somebody is not being authentic with me. I may not know why. I may not know the reason. I just know that they're not. See, when you are authentic, you become the biggest bullshit detector around. It is hard as fuck to bullshit you. You just don't buy it. You're the kind of person where it's like, oh, free. Nothing in this life is free. There's something wrong with this. Well, but it is free. I'm going to give you this free. Yeah, you're going to give me half the information and then you're going to do the carrot so that I buy your stuff. You know what we call that? We call that multi-level marketing. Stop doing it, recovery coaches. That's multi-level marketing. Oh, it's not Amway. That's not what I said. They have cultivated a strong sense of self outside family expectations, embracing their individuality and living in alignment with their values. Yeah. Yes, expectations. Oh, bad word. Bad word, expectations. No, it's not. There are such things as reasonable expectations. My niece is moving back in with us. I don't mind. I love my niece. All right. But one of the rules is everybody here goes to therapy, man. Everybody here improves their lives. We are all there. If you want to live here, you got to improve your life or you don't get to hang out here. Actually, it'll drive you crazy. So, no. Nothing wrong with reasonable expectations. If the trash is full, take the darn thing out and then put a new bag in it. All right. All right. Empathetic and intuitive. All black sheep have empathy. Every black sheep I have met has empathy. Born with it. I've always been able to tell how somebody's feeling. I remember in my teen years, I'd be like, man, something's wrong with my grandma. Something's wrong with my grandma. And I call my grandma, and she's like, yeah, I am going through some things. And we talk. Happened all the time. Happened all the time. I still feel her around every now and again. She checks in on me, but she doesn't check in on me as much as she used to because I'm doing better. We we black sheep have angels, man. And you probably like kitty cats too. I'm kidding. You probably do though. You probably like animals. Most black sheep like, and they do. They like animals. Why? The reason I'm so attracted to cats is because I have 4 cats and I end up with more cats because I need that much spiritual protection. Because the devil likes to come after me. Shit likes to come after me. It doesn't want me doing what I'm doing. It doesn't want me to heal. It wants the destruction. It wants this other stuff. All right. You're like, Dion, that's how you think? Yes, it is. I haven't said anything because I don't want to scare the girls, but there's something walking around here right now. Has been for 3, 4 days. I keep seeing them. I don't want to scare the girls because it's nothing bad. All right. So empathetic and intuitive. Having experienced the pain of being misunderstood or outcast, they often develop a heightened sense of empathy and intuition, allowing them to connect with others on a deeper level according to something. I don't care who it's according to. We're not here to plug people. All right. See, you've been there, so you understand. You get it. I bet this happens to you too. Complete strangers will just tell you their story. Why do you think I'm so good at podcasting? It's my empathy. It's my empathy. And I'm very good at podcasting. It's just one of those skills. Right? I'm not good at a lot of other things. Right? And I'm not certainly not the perfect podcaster, but I'm going to tell you something now. I don't want the podcast to be perfect. It needs to have its blemishes. There's beauty in that. It needs to be authentic. When it's authentic, it works. People heal. We laugh. We have fun. Right? We're driven by purpose and meaning. See, when you're a black sheep and you don't have purpose and meaning in your life, that's when we go to suicide. That's when we start turning to those thoughts. Right? But when we do have meaning in our life, and that's what sucks about alcoholism, it takes away anything good, including all meaning in life. And we have to have meaning. I know I need to have meaning in life for me to strive each day to get the fuck out of bed and do something constructive. I need purpose and I need meaning. Their journey often leads them to seek out a life filled with purpose and meaning, often driven to make a positive impact on the world. Yeah. People find you approachable. They come to you with their problems. And this is something that I do hear often. Dion, I call you because you always have an answer. You always help me. What I will not do is sit there and pound your problem into the floor. That I'm not going to do. We are solution oriented. All right. And we become pretty good at figuring out who's gonna. It's our empathy that helps us figure out whether we're going to be able to help that person or not. Self-aware and emotionally intelligent. You know, the process of healing and navigating their experiences fosters self-awareness and emotional intelligence, enabling them to understand and manage their own emotions and build healthy relationships with others. Oh, it's true. We're the people that are like, why are you mad? Well, I'm mad because this, and this. But this in itself, too, for an alcoholic, okay, is kind of practiced. See, when I'm drinking alcohol, it screws all this up. all this gets screwed up. I'm not emotionally intelligent. I'm not self-aware. I still have empathy, but it's driven by something else. My purpose and meaning is just being an alcoholic because at least I'm something, right? I'm certainly not authentic, right? Now, here's the biggest one, at least for me. This is the biggest part right here on why I enjoy being a black sheep and part of my meaning, part of my responsibility. They are advocates for change and healing. Advocates. Their experience can inspire them to become advocates for positive change, challenging the status quo and helping to heal others and family systems, according to a Facebook group post. What a reliable source of information, a Facebook group post. It's correct. But come on. Right? We knew the book, and I'm laughing because we knew that already, didn't we? You knew that. You knew that about you. Right? But sometimes it can be hard to say it out loud. I was talking to a sponsee yesterday, and I was teaching them how to take a compliment. I found out there's two words. There's two words because, like, when I got a compliment, like, yeah, but, and I try and put it down because I didn't feel like I deserved it, even when I did deserve it. All right. There's two words that you can say: thank you, and then shut your darn mouth. Get used to taking compliments. You know whether they're fake or not. You know whether they're real or not. Right? Nothing worse than a fake compliment. Those ones are weird. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's always good to see you. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.